Hello, my name is Leah McBride, and I am currently studying secondary education at Central Queensland University. I welcome you to this Engaging Learners video resource, which is the first accessible task for the Education Unit Engaging Learners, Classroom Management and Neuroscience. After researching resources from the first two modules of this unit, I will now aim to explain ways in which you can improve student learning outcomes through growth mindsets, positive motivation, and optimal learning environments. Much like the Engaging Learners written resource, this is a neuroscientific approach to discussing the psychological factors that affect learning. A critical feature of effective teaching is setting up conditions where stress is reduced and the brain is calm and ready for learning. So how do we create a brain-wise classroom where students are happy, positive, and motivated? We will first begin by delving into some of Judy Willis's notable works, which effectively explain how students are motivated to learn. Judy is a firm believer in exuberant discovery, where high-level executive thinking and innovation occur when students have a joy and enthusiasm for learning. Creating excitement about the process of learning is critical in optimal learning environments. This classroom structure can only be fruitful when students learn with growth mindsets, which means they embrace learning. Growth mindset learners understand that their effort creates intelligence, which gives them resilience in the face of setbacks. Essentially, we want our students to remember that failure assists in learning because it motivates us to work harder, and each effort makes us psychologically stronger. We want to avoid a fixed mindset, which is where students believe intelligence is a fixed trait, much like eye color or height. So how can we teach and foster a growth mindset? Emotion has substantial influence on cognitive processes. That is, motivation and behavior is determined by our emotions towards that action. It is no secret that many students find school a challenging environment, and their negative thoughts do little to improve their learning outcomes. So what if we taught our students to take charge of their thoughts, brain chemistry, and consequent actions? Essentially, students who have a positive state of mind are motivated and more likely to achieve their goals. Judy Newman, a neurocognitive performance coach, uses the terms shark thoughts for fixed mindsets and bunny thoughts for growth mindsets. Shark or fixed thoughts are unhelpful ways of thinking and can sound like, I can't do this, or I am too dumb to learn this. When hearing this in the classroom, or you believe students are thinking these thoughts, ask students to repeat bunny or growth thoughts, such as, I get smarter every time I make an effort, or when it gets hard, I will keep trying. This mindset encourages students to be aware of their emotions towards learning, which also allows teachers to be aware of the emotional states of their learners, and classroom management issues will likely decrease. After we repeatedly try and fail to achieve a goal, this lack of progress shifts our brain into an effort withholding state. Due to our survival design, our brain chooses to conserve energy rather than redo an unsuccessful action. As a teacher, creating ongoing positive beliefs and mindsets about learning in your students requires strategies. A beneficial strategy, which uses our newfound knowledge about neuroplasticity, is to create stretch goals for your students, which are challenging yet achievable goals to boost student motivation, positivity, and confidence. The design of these goals should allow students to see ongoing progress results due to their efforts, which will eventually lead them to the final goal. We are aiming to create motivated perseverance and sustained effort in each student as they discover how they can change the way their brain works for them. This means that through these goals, they will realize that intelligence is created by strengthening their neural circuits and should lead to resilience in the face of frustration, boredom, and setbacks. It is also important that as they progress towards these stretch goals, your interest is maintained, and positive reinforcement and feedback is critical to remind students that mistakes can be used to guide them towards better outcomes. This feedback will also increase their active participation with you and throughout class discussions or solving problems. Judy Willis asserts that students will learn more efficiently and joyfully when they rediscover their positivity and confidence in the classroom through these stretch goals. Louis Cozolino defines an optimal learning environment as a place where students are psychologically and physically safe and accepted by teachers and their peers. As a teacher, you should aim to foster growth mindsets by praising hard work and effort so that students take on and learn from challenges, which will therefore increase their achievement and skills. According to the Australian Professional Standards for Teachers, it is our duty to understand how students learn, establish challenging learning goals, use effective classroom communication, and support student participation. Each of these standards can be achieved by creating classrooms that are safe havens for our students, where learning processes are supported through emotional regulating strategies, such as growth mindsets, stretch goals, and positive ongoing feedback. Please remember that you are the core requirement of the learning experience. Never underestimate your influence on how students think, feel, learn, and remember. Thank you for choosing to approach learning the neuroscientific way. I hope this resource has been fruitful, and I will conclude with a quote from Dr. Rick Hanson. Inner strengths are grown mainly from positive mental states that are turned into positive neural traits.